Hello and welcome to OEIncubator Executive Summaries. Today we're taking a look at Ulrich Boser and his book from 2011 called Learn Better. This book, as it says in the tagline, can teach you how to become an expert in just about anything. Most believe intelligent people are the best at learning, but we've discovered that learning is not based on innate intelligence, and using learning strategies from tutoring to self-quizzing can improve the learning experience of anybody. We'll be looking at the 6 steps of learning covered in this book. These are value, target, develop, extend, relate, and rethink. Let's dive right in. Number 1, value. Value is all about making the learning experience matter by giving it value. If you wanted to learn sewing but don't have any value or reason behind it, you won't be motivated and it'll never get done. Take Jason Wolfson for example, a middle-aged engineer who has a basement full of artistic, complicated Lego creations, similar to my basement. He only became so good at what he does because each creation he made matters and has significance. From a replica of Gonzo dedicated to his wife, who is a fan of the Muppets, to a blue police booth inspired by Doctor Who. When you value your learning and your tasks, you'll be a lot more motivated to achieve them and probably have a lot more fun too. Number 2, target. This is about setting goals. A goal to learn all of C++ is extremely ambitious, but such a steep mountain is going to seem insurmountable. You'd either grind out your learning and give up, or spend 5 years on it and finally accomplish your goal with your soul crushed in the process. Instead, try setting micro goals, achievable learning goals that will set you on a greater path. For example, designing a basic program prototype for using C++ as a foundation, or designing a UI for a video game in Unity. Remember, before you set out to learn everything, you need to set a goal to learn the basics. The fundamentals of any topic will always be crucial for carrying you throughout the rest of your journey. Number 3, develop. One of the greatest sources of learning, as well as motivation, is feedback. Practice reading a video script in front of a friend or two before you jump on a camera. Their feedback will help you improve, and if you have a supportive, or at least supportive-ish, friendship group, their involvement and feedback can be highly motivating. Ulrich Boser learned this one firsthand. Earlier in his life he played basketball, and despite practicing for over half an hour daily shooting hoops, he was still the worst player on his team. While browsing Craigslist, he found a basketball instructor who gave him critical feedback and helped implement changes. He was taught a lot more fundamental moves and began recording mistakes he had made now that he had finally become made aware of them. He gained an advanced skill set very quickly, and tracking his mistakes meant he could take steps to improve on them quite quickly and began scoring a lot more in his games. We're halfway through our executive summary on Learn Better. What do you think of the lessons we've covered so far? Are you keen to start making things with Lego or hitting those 3 pointers? Let us know in the comments below. Now on to number 4, extend. If you want to become an expert in any field, you need to immerse yourself in the field. The best writers and artists in the world are the ones who connect with other people who have the same passion as they do and learn from each other. I personally prefer being one of the least expert on a topic in a room when I'm networking, because there's so much more room for growth and so many lessons to be learned. Another part of this is visualization. To help remember things, come up with a formidable image in your head. It doesn't have to be the actual thing itself, it just needs to be something that strongly reminds you of the thing. So for example, comedian Bob Harris wanted to remember the titles of all of E.M. Forster's novels. One of the visualizations he had was of himself sitting in a room and looking out of the window and seeing, and I quote, "a giant throbbing 30-foot wide buttocks." It seems really obscure and strange, but now Bob Harris will never forget the title of the book, Room with a View. Number 5, relate. Practice is great and all, but to really level up your learning, you need to relate that learning and expand it. In 1908, Charles Judd ran an experiment with 2 separate groups of students and told them to throw darts at an underwater target that was 10 centimeters underwater. One group was given time to practice, while the other group was taught the laws of water refraction and how the target was in a separate place than it actually appeared. The students could apply this lesson and outperform the practiced group. Then the target was moved 30 centimeters underwater. The practice team struggled, while the learning group could reapply what they had learned and achieve a better result. Varying how you practice and then reapplying your knowledge with new tests will improve your skills dramatically over time. Number 6, rethink. You might know where that restaurant is, but if you're driving in circles for an hour and can't find it, it might be time to ask for directions instead of assuming that you're right. This step is all about reviewing and rethinking your skill level and avoiding overconfidence based on past performances. Commonly known as victory disease in the military, a general may overestimate his abilities due to the many victories in his past. General George Armstrong Custer, during the Civil War period, had many victories time and time again. In 1876, overconfident in his abilities, he led 200 of his men against an army of over 1,000 Native Americans and was greatly overpowered, losing his own life and almost every soldier's life in the process. Complacency is a powerful and lazy enemy. A good way to practice against this is to find new situations to learn and grow from. If you have all the answers, you need to ask more questions. This book has a lot more advanced examples on each of these, from how a physicist learnt more because of his toilet, on why earplugs are useful when studying, and how reading something 4 times is less powerful than reciting something after only reading it once. Whether your business endeavors are creative, analytical, scientific, lingual, or recreational, you can implement these 6 steps to become better at what you do in a matter of time. To pick up this book, visit the link in the description. To see more of these videos and learn about how you can design your business to grow completely without you, making you financially independent, subscribe to us and turn on notifications, as well as checking out all our offerings at OEIncubator.com. I'm Elfie Coyle. I trust this video has supported your growth and I wish you much love and success.